Welcome, one and all, to the Mudai Manga Book Club podcast. This is episode 20, a fully featured filler festival of Fantastical Fopics. My name is Tom, and I am in control of the horizontal and the vertical, just not at the same time. And I'm joined with my host.
This is some weird Twilight Zone shenanigans going on.
Louie!
What? This is weird.
Also, mine was from the Outer Limits, not the Twilight Zone.
I know. That's why I said the Twilight Zone. Because it's better.
Fascinating. Is it? I've actually not seen really either of them.
What? Boo.
It's from the 60s! And it's not from Japan.
True.
For those of you who are new to the show, let me just move on. Let's not talk about that. We're not going to talk about that. No, we're good.
Fine.
For those of you new to this, we normally have two parts to our episode. Our first is we talk about interesting things that we've seen, we've read, we've listened to over the past week, and then we'll have our main topic. However, this week, our main topic is going to be a bunch of our short little discussion topics that we've collected over the last few weeks or so that we decided to not do because the shows were getting a little bit out of hand. So that doesn't sound right. Let me not do that. Normally we have our main topic as well, but this week it's going to be a series of short topics that we have to talk about and discuss that we've come up with over the last couple of weeks. So we will have a whole bunch of different random things to talk about.
Topic Palooza.
Woo! But first. But first. That's how you get into chairs.
Yes.
Yes?
I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, okay.
How else would you get into a chair? I guess if you
I can't think of anything
around.
funny, so. I mean, if you're sitting in the chair backwards.
Yes.
Technically, your knees go past it first then, or maybe your hands grabbing the top.
But your knees and hands aren't sitting in the chair, though.
Not with that attitude, they're not.
But I think we're getting off topic.
What? Really? I've been waiting for you to be like, hey, okay, because it says Tom first, and I was like, okay, I'm waiting for you to tell me to start.
Tom, what have you been listening to, reading/seeing/being?
Reading/reading. Yes.
What have you reading/reading?
My favorite shipping, reading and reading. They just go so well together. Well, you know me. I just love reading, and I usually have a giant pile of books. Well, you're wrong. It's been kind of a crazy week for a lot of different reasons, which I am not going to talk about. So I have read... I've had a couple things that I've been reading, but I only finished one thing, which is a light novel called Housekeeping Mage, Volume 2. I will get the full title in a moment, but I talked about this a while ago. The English title is Housekeeping Mage from Another World, Making Your Adventures Feel Like Home. So the second volume of the light novel. There is a manga as well. It's kind of an ordinary isekai world, but the actual story is very much unusual for an isekai. The main character is a woman in her 20s from Japan who gets sent to this other world with nothing. Literally nothing. Yep. She just shows up with the clothes on her back. She can't speak the language. She doesn't know anything. She doesn't have any special abilities. She just falls into this other world. And it's a fairly centered fantasy isekai world of adventures and magic and monsters and things like that. The story itself is more of like a josei romance type story, but it's done really well, and it has surprisingly terrifying and epic battles for a romantic novel. Okay. So there is that. This is the second one, which follows Shiori, the isekai Japanese woman, and Alec, the A-rank adventurer, who have both like fallen for each other, but kind of haven't really gotten anywhere yet. Like they both realize they like the other person, and the other person probably likes them, but they can't do anything about it yet. This follows shortly after that. It's the middle of winter. Shiori goes back to where her familiar, the slime Ruri, is from.
Yep.
And then they do a couple of random winter quests, and everything's hunky-dory. And then the village they were staying at gets attacked by a giant pack of snow wolves.
Okay.
Where the town guard and a garrison of knights and reinforcements of knights and the adventurers who are there basically all almost die from this. It's a huge battle in the first third of this as they're trying to save the town for reasons that I won't explain because they're spoilers. But again, the story starts off with some giant crazy battles And then it gets into really dark, depressing stories because Shiori and Alec, as a romantic couple, are very interesting, but they're both emotionally traumatized people. And the majority of this book is, hey, let's talk about all the horrible emotional trauma Shiori went since she popped up in here. And it's as dark as you can get without being actual sexual abuse.
Okay. Yep.
It doesn't get to that, but it gets close in more ways than one.
Okay.
And it's pretty bad. And that's already happened, but you're like seeing the after effects of that and seeing it's a big part of the story is her dealing with that, Alec coming to terms with that, Alec trying to help her come to terms with it, and then him, obviously the person who very much likes her, trying to figure out what he can do to get back at the people who did this. And the answer is nothing. But if I tell you anything more than that, that's also spoilers.
Okay.
So it mostly covers, and there's some incredible moments that are just like, there is a side story where you're just like, after you've already found out about this, you get to read Shiori's journal from when she arrived in the other world until she almost died. And like she got out of this horrible thing that happened to her. So you get to read her journal as she goes through this. And it's like, I don't know how much more I want to read this because I know how bad it's going to get. And we're only like 3/4 of the way there. And it's getting really dark. And I'm kind of like, I don't know. But it's for as dark as the topics are in this. And it ends up, even though like what happened with Shiori didn't go into the really deep stuff, like part of what you find out is some of the people involved were also involved in that extremely dark stuff. So it's not like you get to avoid that either, but it's never talking graphically about that stuff happening. It's always about the after effects and the people trying to help them or the people investigating that and seeing what's happened to people and trying to handle that too is another big story. There's a couple of knights who you find out about their investigations in Alec too of like, this happened to people. Oh, here's the scars and the things that have happened to them. Oh God, what do I do here? And there's a lot of really nice tender moments and moments of things with Alec and Shiori as they're trying to deal with that. Shiori as a character has, like, as bad as it was, a lot of other things worked out really well. So she's kind of over part of it.
Okay.
So it's not, if you're expecting, like, deep psychological trauma and, like, starting from square one and that, it's like, no, she's, like, halfway through it. It's just now having to explain it to someone else. Okay. But it's still a good, entertaining story.
Yep.
It's well told. And the romance and like the characters around that and sort of picking this apart, it's still a really good story. It's just way darker than the first one. And the first one had a giant battle against like hundreds of spiders. And then you watch someone else literally go and get overrun and killed by another giant crowd of spiders. And you watch them die. Like the first one was not always super happy.
Okay.
And it is, even though it has these very dark moments, it's overall a happy story in the end. But it's like it's got some dark moments in this, but it's very well written. Shiori is a very interesting character. This person who is very bad at everything and doesn't know anything and is desperately trying to learn everything about this world and find a place to be in it. And has she's very good at using magic in ways most people can't because she has so little. And she works so hard that she's found ways to like combine spells to do things. It still doesn't amount to much. Like she's been able to combine air and fire magic, and it makes a heater.
Still useful, yeah.
Which is really but the thing about the story is it's always her figuring out how to use that to do something to help other people. And you look at Alec, who's there, who is this super powerful adventurer, and he's like, I can't even combine those two spells. And even if I just did like the smallest water spell just to make some water, it's like sprays water and blows people across the room. Like anyone else, like they can't get that level of control that she has. And it's an interesting story of, hey, here's a not great situation. How do you find your way to make it work? And the story does a really good job of that. And it's fun. It's entertaining. It's a nice romance. The two characters are really good together. There's definitely a lot of humorous moments too. It's just the middle third gets real dark.
And there's a good overall story like going on. Because you got the first one and the second one. Is it just kind of a keep going, or is there actually a bigger plot happening?
So the bigger plot is definitely Alec and Shiori as a love story.
Okay.
Because, like I said, both of them are emotionally damaged people from things that have happened in their life.
Yep.
We know a little bit of what happened with Alec. And we learn a lot more in this book that we knew there was something in the first book. We've gotten some of what it is in the second book, but Shiori knows none of it. So it's like, this has all been about dealing with one specific part of Shiori's trauma. And like Alec having to face that and be like, okay, that was bad. Not going to let that happen again. Here's how I'm going to help you. That leads into the second half of the story, which is a lot more of like them like, okay, we know this about each other. What are we going to do about it? And that seems to be the main overarching story of the book. And Shiori's continuing to try and figure out ways to survive. Alec is a powerful adventurer, but that's kind of all he has. So he doesn't really know what he's going to do in a couple of years. And you learn more about his family, and it's kind of like, well, he can't go back to them, and all the other characters that are around them, like where they've come from and what they're trying to accomplish. They're sort of like, we're in the point where we're almost as powerful as we're ever going to get.
Okay.
It hasn't quite gotten to the, okay, now what stage? But it feels like, okay, we did it. We became adventurers. Yep. Now it's kind of like, was this right? Is this what we wanted? Most of us didn't get a choice. How do we deal with that? But the characters and the adventures and things are all very well written. It has the feel of like a women's romance novel.
Okay.
It's written and it's told, and what happens in it is interesting enough that most people, other than maybe like an actual like shonen shoujo age reader, someone in like their early teens, probably wouldn't enjoy it. But like if you had an actual relationship with someone else at any point, after that point, it's probably going to be an enjoyable story. And there's plenty of adventure, and there's plenty of intrigue, and the characters are fun, and there's some humor, and the art is good. Not amazing, but it's style, and it does it well. It's been fun. I'm definitely reading more.
Okay. Are there more?
Yes. I believe there are 6 or 7 of the novels in English. I don't know how many exist. As far as I know, it's still ongoing. There are 9 volumes released in English. I don't know how many exist in Japan, but there's at least 9 full-length novels. The manga is up to 8 books, so that's obviously got a ways to go. And the new one is coming out next month. The 8th one's coming out next month, so that's still coming over. It's a J Novel Club novel as well, so if there's more, they'll bring them over. The last one came out in April, so they're probably still working on it.
Okay.
How about you? What have you been up to?
Okay. I haven't done a whole lot. However, I did finish another audiobook. This one is not a Japanese one. This one is... I know. What? Who? What? How is that possible? This one was written by an American. So, this is... The one I read / listen is called Enndymion. It is the 3rd book in the Hyperion Cantos, written by Dan Simmons. This officially came out in 1996.
Okay.
So that's, 30 years old. Almost. So it's part 3 of the Cantos. It's really good.
Okay.
I can't tell a whole lot about it. So if anyone has not heard of this at all, so it is a sci-fi story set in the distant future. But I think it's confusing because Hyperion, which is the first book, is like 1,000 years in the future.
Yeah, it says like 2732 or something.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So around there, humanity is traveling through the universe, not like Star Trek, more like a slow crawl, kind of what you would think of expanding in like the 16th century over the ocean. So slowly but deliberately kind of moving along the stars, but it takes time like it did back then. So in Hyperion, humanity is now had multiple worlds. They've colonized, terraformed, things like that, and they can create gateways, which are, think of stable wormholes where you can travel through, or you can also make like unstable ones where you turn it on, you go through, and then you turn it off.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's humanity. So before all that happened, there's a bunch of history, and colony ships got sent out, and then eventually the colonies that were lost for hundreds of years have been refound, some of them, and there's dealing with that whole issue. So there's no aliens per se. There's humans that are different based on their situation, based on their circumstances, and different planets make humans grow differently.
Yep.
So there's humans. Then there's another group called the Ousters, who are people who decided not to live with regular humanity and just travel the stars. It's like, think of colony ships that never found a colony. They just keep absorbing things into their fleets. So they're the Ousters. They're considered the outsiders. So they travel around the edge of human civilization. Okay. Coming in, slowly raiding, and then leaving. But they're considered not as advanced as regular humanity. And then there's the Technocore, which is, think of it as a accumulation of multiple AIs. So AI has become an actual thing. Yep. So the Technocore is made up of multiple AIs. And in the Technocore, there are 3 major divisions. There's I don't know if I can remember all of them, but there's 3 different like major groups of AIs, all with their own goals. So that's a whole thing. So Hyperion is really good. That is written in the style of the Canterbury Tales. Yeah. So each section of the book is a different character, but all of their stories are kind of happening at the same time, but you have a different focus. And at the end, they kind of all come together. And it's like, this is why we're all here. And Hyperion is really good. Then there's the Fall of Hyperion, which is... So in Hyperion, they're all on a pilgrimage. The Fall of Hyperion is the result and aftermath of the pilgrimage, how it changes humanity. And then Enndymion, which is what I just read, is 200, 300, somewhere around there, years later, about what happened because of what happened in the Fall of Hyperion, how humanity is now, and where it can go in the future. Because some crazy stuff happens at the end of the Fall of Hyperion that sets up Enndymion, and it's good, but it definitely feels like a part 1. So it's like, okay, here's Enndymion, you go through that story, and it's really good, but it very much ends on, and there's more to come. And then the next book is The Rise of Enndymion, which ends the 4-part Cantos. Okay. It's really good. There's some... So this was written back... So Hyperion, the first novel, was written back in 1989, I think. Yep. Yes, 89. Fall of Hyperion was in 1990. And then Enndymion was 6 years later. Okay. It's really good. So if you've ever heard of something called the Shrike, it is a giant metal robot covered in spikes. I don't know if it's really as much of a thing nowadays, but this is where it comes from. Yeah. I have never read this book. Yep. But when I saw, I'm like, let me just see the cover of this. And I saw the thing on the cover. I'm like, oh, I remember this. Because if you've ever been in like a science fiction section in an American bookstore, this is one of those series that's there because it's that, the Hyperion is that huge of a science fiction series. Yep. And like the cover is iconic. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the original Hyperion won a Hugo Award, Locus Award, got a bunch of awards. It was a very big book when that came out. And the Fall of Hyperion is... So if you just read Hyperion, that's a really good story. The Fall of Hyperion puts more on top of that to make it even better. Yeah. Enndymion is far enough away where if you don't know the story of the first 2, you're gonna miss a lot of what happens in the third one. There's hints at what happens because it's 270 something years later. Mm-hmm. It helps to know what happened in the previous 2 books. You don't need to because the author kind of, some stuff happened and you kind of need to know it, but you don't really need to, kind of thing. Because it's so many years later, everyone's like, everyone's dead, who cares? Right. But it helps to understand all the underlying things that go on in the first 2 because then you'll get more out of the third one. And the first one, Hyperion, is really good. Yeah. So I finished Enndymion. It's good. Definitely read the first 2 first. Okay. Yeah. And then I'll read the Rise of Enndymion next. Nice. And that will complete the quadrilogy. Quadrilogy, yeah. Quadrilogy. I forget what the... Is it quadrilogy? I don't think it is, but it works. Yeah, we'll go with quadrilogy. So, finished that. Then, read the new chapter of Creepy and Freaky. Still very creepy and freaky. The chapter this week was really, really creepy when you think about it.
Is there a new one?
Yeah, I think it comes out every week. There was a new one this week.
Okay, because there was a gap week.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Last week there wasn't one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I had read chapter 10, and then there was a week where they didn't have one, and now there's a new one. Okay.
Yeah, because chapter 11
Cool.
just came out. Yeah, the
Nice.
other day. Yeah. This one's really creepy once you
Actually
kind
think
of
about
understand what's going on.
Okay.
It's not as lore dumping as the previous one.
Yeah.
This one is more just back to the regular, we're just going to tell a one-off story. Maybe.
Okay. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. And then Order, again,
Yep.
also really good. I've
Cool.
read a few other things, but those are the two I really want to call out because they're really good. But other than that, I still haven't read Dead Rock. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read this this week.
So another topic that I want to talk to you about, and something that I think about a lot, and I've been thinking about a lot again recently, is rereading things, and when you reread, how you reread, if you should, and there's, to give a little bit of a background to it, to sort of like explain what made me think of it. So we've been reading manga and stuff for a long time, and I used to be really poor. I still am. I've no fucking money, but I used to also be poor. Like that old Mitch Hedberg quote of, I used to do drugs. I still do, but I used to too. But, so like buying a volume of a manga was, maybe I'd buy 2 or 3, but I'd buy 2 or 3 in a month. And I am as I've mentioned, and you've seen, I am a very fast reader. So what I would usually do is whenever I would get a new book of anything, I would read it, and then I would read it again, like almost immediately, if not like the next day. And that was how I used to read a lot. I don't do that now because I'm better at getting sales, and I do have a slightly larger amount of money, and I have other things to do more than I used to.
And less time.
And less time, full-time job, family and kids, and all that sort of stuff. So like I don't have as much time, but whenever I would get a new book, I would read it, and then I would read it again with manga, not so much with novels. I used to read a lot more novels. I'm starting to read more again, but that was sort of a thing. And then for certain series, Saishu Hekikanojo, She the Ultimate Weapon being one of them, where I would reread it every year. I did that for like 10, 12 years. Every year I would just pick it up, read the whole thing over front to back. And that's sort of a question of like, how often do you reread something? Is there a way to do it, a way to think about it? Is there a way that you think is a good idea? For now, we'll say manga, because I think novels is a different thing. But like for manga, do you reread things with any regularity at all?
Regularity? No. Like I have a bunch of manga. I don't read them that often. Well, I read them.
Yes.
But typically, I don't reread them anytime soon. The only time I would reread one is if I'm rereading them, there's usually a reason.
Yeah.
Either I'm starting over and reading the whole series again, just because I like to, or it's been a while since I read the last one and a new one just came out. It's like, I gotta remember what happened.
Right. Read the last book so I remember what's going to happen in the new book. Yeah.
Exactly. I've reread some of the ones I have. I don't do it often. I really should go back and do it more. But like I've reread like Bakuman just because it's cool. So I've started to reread One Piece, and then I was like, okay, that took a while, and I moved on to something else.
Yeah, that feels like one that's going to be hard to reread when you've caught up.
Like, it has to have no distractions, because otherwise you will because I've read them all already. So I get sidetracked. It's like, okay, I'm at like number 43. It's like, okay, and something shiny come up, so I'm going to go do that instead. It's like, I know what happens. I'm fine. I'll read the next one when it comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't reread them often. I have in the past, just because like, I want to. This story's great. I read it again, but I definitely will not skim it per se, but I will definitely read it faster. Gotcha. Just like, okay, I know what happens. So I'm reading it fairly quickly compared to doing this show has actually made me reread stuff. Yeah. Like, to prepare for the show. Like when we did the Delicious in Dungeon, I reread those books again. Our free run, I reread those. Yeah. It's like, okay, yeah, I know what happens. But those are more just me remembering what to talk about.
Refresh your memory.
Yeah. Yeah. But often, like, it's usually a while before I reread a book. Even, not even counting manga, even light novels and like audiobooks and just regular books. I don't reread them that often in general. Just like, I remember what happened, so I'm going to read something new instead. Yeah. It's usually years have passed that I don't quite remember what happened, so I'll read it again or something like that.
No, I definitely see that too. I think with novels and even to some degree light novels, and God, I can't imagine listening to an audiobook a second time. So there's probably an exception to me in that I am an incredibly fast reader because I was a lit major. Yep. So like I had to read a ton, and the only time where I will listen to an audiobook is where I hate the book so much I physically can't read it, so I have to have it playing in audio so I can do anything else other than hold the book and stare at it. Yeah. That's how I got through most of the Charles Dickens books I've had to read. Because Charles Dickens is a piece of shit.
Tell us how you really feel.
His works are awful. The only good story he ever made was A Muppet Christmas Carol, and that was mostly not him.
That is true. That is the best Christmas movie.
The Disney Christmas Carol did a good job of stealing off of the Muppet Christmas Carol, even though it came out first.
Yes, it's.
But the Muppet Christmas Carol was the best, and is the best because it is the only good one he ever wrote. It is
very good. But yeah, I do audiobooks mostly for my commute, so
you have that.
I just put it on and like an hour into work, an hour home. It's like, okay, so there's 2 hours of an audiobook. Like a light novel is typically 8 hours, so I can finish one in a week. Yep. But when I would take the train, it's like you just sit there reading the book and you'll fly through it. Like you'd probably definitely read faster than I do. And even then, it's like, okay, you read a manga volume in less than an hour, so I could read all of One Piece or Naruto or Bleach or any of these other series. It's like, but I know what happened, so kind of like the mystery of what's going to happen next is gone. So I'm just reading it to enjoy the story more. But it's like, but I remember the story, so I kind of read something new or something that I haven't read in such a long time I don't remember.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that, and I think that's part of the reason why I would reread manga because I was so fast. But I think another thing that sort of about us, you are much more of a visual and like arts person. Sure. And so like you sort of look at the pictures while you're reading manga. I kind of don't do that half the time. Yeah. So like that's part of the reason I can read a manga volume in like 20-25 minutes is like I'm just ripping through it, and then I get to the end I'm like, wow, that was really good, and I remember everything that happened, and then I reread it, I'm like, oh, I completely forgot that this entire half page of art even existed. And I think for manga especially, both because it was so short, and in the past I didn't have as many, and it's like when I would get one it would be something special. It was like I know I read it too fast. I can't stop myself, but it's like, okay, I've read it, but I just got it, like, hey, let's go and reread it again. I'll find new things to it and bits and pieces, and I know I'm not the only person in the world who reads like this, who just rips through things. And that I think is if you really can read fast, rereading stuff can be good because it'll force you to go through it again, and you will find stuff again. There are last episode we did was Freerun, and I reread Freerun 1 and 2, and they were great, and I loved them, and they were fantastic, and I really enjoyed reading them. But I found so much stuff that I had forgotten about, didn't think of.
Yeah.
Even from the first book, which, like, because I read most of Reread in, like, a weekend, but the first book I read by itself, and, like, I reread that, and, like, there was so much stuff. A lot of it really small things that I found and I discovered in rereading it.
Yeah, and that you bring up a good point of rereading.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you're reading it for the first time. It's like everything is exciting and new, so you kind of want to just keep going and going.
Yeah.
But there's so much, especially the manga, that's hidden in the art. Like, that you just like, oh, this is actually hinting at something. This thing, this person who you may just see in passing is important later. So it's good to reread things like, oh, this was, the author hinted at this books ago.
Yeah.
And now it's coming into fruition. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
But you don't know that when you're first reading it because you don't know what's happening books from now. But now you can read it again. It's like, oh, this was actually here all along. But unless you're like deep diving into the story, which most people aren't going to pull apart everything. It's like, oh, there's foreshadowing all over the place. But you don't realize it when you're reading for the first time. It's like, I just want to know what happens next.
That's absolutely a thing. And, like, coming back, and you said for, like, this podcast, like, I've had to reread stuff again. It's like rereading novels, and it's like, most of the time I'm like, I don't want to do that. But it's like, oh, we're going to do this episode on this. Like, okay, I'm going to be talking about it. Let me reread it. And, like, even novels, it's just, like, this scene. It's like, it was just a normal thing. It just went through, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, this is this character. And then it's like, oh, now that I know what happens in, like, book 12...
Yeah.
This means something. And now it's not just, oh, haha, it's a funny moment. Now it's like, oh, this was them pointing this out. This meant something. Oh, this weird little thing. And that can be a lot of fun.
Yes.
If it's in the actual story. Because that's the other problem, is not every writer and artist will have that stuff.
Right. Yep.
But if it was a really good one, then it might. And sometimes you'll find stuff that's like, wow, shouldn't they have suggested it? And you realize, like, oh, he had no idea what was going to happen. Like, this thing that was going to happen in, like, 12 books, like, yeah, he did not know where that was going here. And that can be maybe not as fun, but still interesting and entertaining to see. Just like, oh, wait a minute, that symbol doesn't look right.
It changed.
That's missing this thing, which is really important for that. Oh. Yeah. Is there a series that you have? I have series that I have reread just because I love them. Like, I think I just mentioned Saishiheki Kanojo. I've reread multiple times. I want to start doing that again because that's my, like, series of all time. And a couple of weeks ago on the show, for book 19 coming out, I reread all 18 volumes of How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom. Last year, I redid all of In Another World with my smartphone.
So I haven't reread a series this year, but I have in the past reread Berserk again.
Yeah, that would be a good one to do. Yeah.
Yep, that's good. I've reread... So, one of the things that I've done now that I couldn't do years ago is you can read them, like a lot of the shonen ones, you can read them simul-publish. So they'll come out with the weekly, and then you can buy the volume. So typically, if it's a one that I really like, I'll buy the physical volume as well. And when I do that, I reread the volume, even though I've read the weekly that came out months later is when the physical version comes out. So I'll reread it then too. I want to reread some of the series I have, and I probably will start doing that. It's like, okay, I really like this. I want to read through it again just because it's awesome. And but yeah, there's just only so much time. And, yeah,
that's a big thing too. It's like, obviously, if you're rereading something, you can't be reading something new. And we've talked about it. There's a lot, and there's a lot that's really good. Especially if you can't read Japanese and you can only read the translated stuff, because the translated stuff is usually most of the better stuff. Not all of it, because some of it won't translate. But the series that flopped don't usually come to English.
No, and I've definitely read a bunch of ones that have been fan-translated, and then I would reread them again when they got official ones and came out in the U.S. But the good ones are typically out in the U.S. anyways. With the digital online, because I can read them that way, I am now much pickier about the ones I buy physically.
Mm-hmm.
And because, as I was just saying, it's like, okay, I bought it physically, so I'm going to read it again anyways. So these are stories I'm going to always enjoy, so I will read them again, most likely. And I typically do as soon as I buy them, but then I'll probably read them again eventually. Because that's why I bought them, so I will always have them.
Yeah. Okay.
But I have to pick another one to reread. So, Full Metal Alchemist is a good one. That's a good one to reread.
I gotta reread that and then finish it.
Because I also don't want to reread ones that's not done, because I would like to reread it's like, okay, this is the complete story now.
Yeah.
But a lot of the ones I have are still ongoing or long.
I think, so that was going to be my last question. I'm like, but I don't really have an answer to it. Now I feel like I have an answer to this, which was, and the question was, is there any reason that you would want to avoid where it's like, oh, I kind of want to reread this, and you should be like, no, let me not do that. And I think the first one that I can think of is if it's like a series that's still ongoing that you've sort of drifted away from, and like you enjoyed it, but it's still ongoing. I mean, other than like One Piece, which is going to be going on forever anyway, or it's going to be super long. If Full Metal Alchemist is finished now, and it's like, oh, let me go back and like finish it, like let me reread it then. But if it was like, oh, I read it all, I kind of stopped reading for like 2 or 3 books. Oh, the new book's coming out, I kind of want to get back into it. Let me reread the whole thing. It's like, but it won't be the end.
Yeah.
Like, that's one thing I think of. It's like rereading it to then get to it and finish a series feels like a really good way to do it too.
Yeah.
What about you? Anything you can think of?
I have a bunch of ones that I've read where the ending didn't exist or was bad.
Yep.
And as soon as you get a bad ending, it's like, I don't know if I want to read this again.
Yeah.
So it's like, because I had that with, I got rid of it now. Because I'm like, I just don't like the ending, so I'm never going to... No. It's not that. It's...
Dragon Ball GT.
It was a Shonen Jump about being locked up into school.
Assassination Classroom, Alive.
No. It was...
Toilet Bound Hanaka-kun.
Nope.
That's the right name.
It has a really good opening arc. And then the arcs just got steadily not as fun, and then the ending was stupid. So I'm like, it has 3 kids. Oh, Escape from Neverland.
Oh, yeah.
The opening is awesome. Bob, The Promised Neverland.
The Promised Neverland, that's the one.
That's the one. Yeah. The opening is awesome. Like, the opening arc is crazy good. And then, as it went on, it's like, this isn't what it thought it was going to be. And then the ending is like, I hate this ending. So I'm like, I got the beginning arc. It's like, okay, but I don't know if I want to get the rest of it because I'm never going to want to read the ending again. So after a while, just like, I'm not going to read this again. So I got rid of it.
Yeah. I've heard this series in particular, I've heard the same thing of like the beginning's really good and then it kind of drifts.
Yeah.
For some people. So it's like, yeah, I can see that.
But like, I also have D. Gray Man, which is really good. So it was like put on hiatus for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like, okay, but it's no ending. It's like, okay, I just kind of slowly drift away from it. It's like, it's good. I don't know if I'm going to read it again. Hunter x Hunter was the same kind of thing. It's like, okay, it went on hiatus so much that it's like, okay, I kind of fallen off of it. Like, I have some of it, but I don't know if I'm going to read it again. I don't know if I'm going to bother getting it because it's just, who knows how long it's going to take to finish.
Yeah. I think with series that you sort of like drift away from or like went on hiatus and stuff, it feels really easy to justify, okay, let me reread everything I've read and then finish it, as opposed to let me reread it and get to the next point where I just have to stop and wait.
Right.
Because if I was going to keep up with it, I would have just kept up with it. I think probably the other thing I would say is like I have never wanted to reread a series where I don't enjoy like 95% of it.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that to me is a thing that's really different from like manga and like American comics. If there are bad issues of Spider-Man,
just read the next one.
Yeah. Skipping over them is like completely easy. But the way that a lot of, not all of them, but the way that a lot of Japanese manga work, it's like a continuous story.
Right.
And so if it has these big highs and lows, it's like, I don't want to reread it because it's not like, Well, I'll read books 1 to 4. I'll skip 5, 6, and 7 and just jump back in 8. It's like, because even if that's all the good parts and I know everything that's in 4, 5, and 6, 4, 5, 6, and 7, I don't want to skip it because it's such a like continuous thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's
typically important to the story, but it's like I don't like this part.
Yeah, if it's a chapter or two, I'll push
like
through
a filler
it.
episode or things like that.
If it's one book, maybe I'll skip it. But if it's like a big chunk of it, and it's like if it's like one book out of 20, it's like maybe I'll skip it. But even then, I'll probably just reread it. That sort of also cuts down a lot of series. Of just like if the story had a really big high point, then
I can think of one. Death Note. I typically only read the first half.
Okay, so one
I've
works.
reread that before
Because you can just stop.
Yes.
That's the thing. If the first half is good and then at a certain point it gets bad and you can just stop, it's real easy.
Yeah.
Because it's all great and then you get to the end of that part and the other books burned in a mysterious fire.
And the story is over.
The story is just, what do you mean? There's a to be continued? No. Someone sneezed.
Yeah.
Into their ink pot. And it looks like that because your brain tries to connect the dots to make it say to be continued. But no, it's just complete random gibberish.
No.
Yeah.
It doesn't count.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't often reread stories, but
no.
I typically, if I'm going to reread it, it's something that I really, really like.
Yeah.
But I don't do it that often just because I remember what is most of the stories. So I have to have either a reason, like for the show, or it's been so long I can't remember everything that happened.
Yeah. For me, and I know I'm an oddball case because I do just read really fast most of the time. Unless it's written by Charles Dickens, and then it takes absolutely ungodly forever, and listening to the audiobook is actually faster. I'm not joking. This actually happened while I was in college, where I was like, I have to listen to the audiobook because I will not finish this in time. I have 2 months. I won't get through it. But, like, I tend to read really fast. So to me, it's like, oh, let me read it. It's like, yeah, sure, I'll just do that. But it's a lot of times it's either stories I really love, and it's just like, I know what happens. I know everything. I just want to enjoy it again. Or, okay, I really like this. For whatever reason, I stopped, but it's out now. Let me start reading it again and get caught back up. But if I'm going to do that, let me just read everything again up to this point. And I don't know, just read manga, even in general, even for a lot of people, I think it's a much faster read. And just like, hey, let me reread this book a second time, I think is a lot easier of an ask than for novels.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ask it for a lot of people for novels unless it was like, if it's your favorite series, you'll probably do it. But for manga, it's like, I know I read real fast. I can finish a book in like 20 minutes. But I know people who read slow, but it's still like, it'll take them 2 hours. But that's not a huge ask compared to a novel that might be 8, 16, 30 hours to get through.
Right.
Like 2 novels, like to really soak it in if you really like it. Like it's worth doing. And rereading them, you do get a lot out of it, I think. If it's worth it.
Yes.
Don't reread bad stuff.
No.
If you're a critic, find a different thing to talk about instead. So the next thing that we're going to do tonight, and I'm not going to talk about when and where we're going to be recording this and in what part, because this may or may not be thrown at the end of something else, but we're going to do a bit of a culture quiz. Wow, 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 wow. Time for points. So, Louie, I have a series of things that are Japanese cultural ideas or things that you do, many of which will show up in anime and manga and things like that. And your job, if you choose to accept it, which I don't care, you're accepting it either way, is to explain what they are or to answer the question I have about them. I will give you 2 options. I will tell you the thing and ask you the question, and you can either try to answer for 3 points, or you can ask for multiple choices, in which I'll give you 3 or 4 options. And if you can choose the correct option from that, you will get 1 point. However,
Okay.
if you guess or choose the incorrect multiple choice answer, you get no points.
Okay. And so will points matter? Or is it like...
I will
Whose
try
line?
to record the points this time so I can tell you at the end. Okay? The first episode was the first time was I asked you a question. The second time I gave points. The third time I'll write the points down.
Perfect.
We're getting there, okay?
It's a learning process.
Yes. So, if you guess before getting the multiple choices, you do not get the multiple choices if you are incorrect. It is just wrong. So if you're not sure, ask for multiple choices and then make the choice on that.
But if I go for 3, guess wrong, I'm done.
You're done. Yes.
Okay. Okie dokie.
So we'll start with the first one, which is there is a thing in Japan called the teru teru bozu, which is a small round-headed doll hung by a string.
Oh.
Why do people make and hang up the teru teru bozu?
I've seen them.
Yes. That's why I
know
picked
what they
these
look
things.
like.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're asking why do people hang them?
Yes. Why do people make or hang up these dolls? Because they're hung up.
I do not know it well enough to know exactly why. So I'm going to take the multiple choice.
Okay. Your choices are A, to ward off evil spirits.
Okay.
B, children hang them up because they want it to snow. C, children hang it up because they want it to stop raining. Or D, to encourage flowers to bloom.
So it's evil spirits, snow, rain,
Yes.
flowers.
Protect from evil spirits. Summon snow. Stop
snow.
rain.
Stop rain.
Or get flowers to bloom.
Am I allowed to ask what they look like?
Yes,
Just so
they
I
look
make
like
sure.
a ball-headed doll, almost like imagine a napkin, take the center of it, make it into a ball, and then tie a string around it so it makes like a floaty neck, like almost like a little ghost,
Okay.
and then hang it up by that string around its neck.
It is what I was thinking.
Yes.
And I think I know the answer, and hopefully it's right.
Well,
So
hopefully.
in Raincode Plus,
Yes.
they have these hanging up. So I think the answer is C, to ward off rain.
You are correct. Yes.
Yay, okay. Yeah. Because they have them hanging up, and one of the characters pokes at them every now and then. It's like, hey, look at this thing.
Yep. It is a traditional Japanese thing. There's actually a song that goes along with it. And kids will make them and hang them up because they want the rain to stop. And the creepy thing about the song is one of the things that they tell these little dolls is that you're going to make the rain stop. Otherwise, we're going to decapitate you.
Of course.
Yes. But it is a small little toy doll that children will hang up because they want it to stop raining. That is correct.
Nice. Okay.
All
Go
right.
Raincode Plus.
All right. That is 1 point. And I have written it down. There's a 1 on my screen. All right. This one might be a little bit easier, but I don't know.
Okay.
What does it mean when you sneeze once for no explainable reason?
Okay. I think I know what this is.
Okay.
I have seen this in a bunch of different manga anime, and I believe it was explained in Inuyasha once. And what it means is that someone is talking about you behind your back.
Give this man another 3 points.
Yeah.
That is correct. Yes. I've seen it all over the place. And yes,
Yeah.
if you are talking about someone behind your back implies that you're sort of gossiping about them. I don't know if that's necessarily required.
Yeah,
that's how I'd
true.
explain it. It's just someone is talking about you who's not here, and you are sneeze. But
Yes. Yep. Someone is talking something about you.
yeah,
And for some reason, you sneeze.
I don't know if it
Who knows how
has
far
to be
away.
gossiping or if it just can be or something. But yeah, I'm going to give it to you either way. That's what it means. Yep.
Cool.
Very good.
Nice.
All right. I'm actually going to skip this one because I forgot the question for it. So we're going to go to the next one. This one might
you
be
got?
really hard.
Okay.
In Japan, when people answer the telephone, specifically the telephone, they say moshi moshi. Why do they say that instead of the more standard Japanese greetings of konnichiwa, ohayo gozaimasu, etc.? And I mean that in like, for ohayo gozaimasu, like if it was morning, they would still say moshi moshi, not ohayo gozaimasu. Why do they say moshi moshi?
Why moshi moshi specifically? Oh, because I've heard people say it.
Mm-hmm.
Moshi moshi. I don't know, so I'll go with the multiple choice one.
Okay. Is it because it's a ancient, very polite phrase that would be acceptable to anyone, including an emperor, and you don't know who's on the other line? B,
Okay.
it's incredibly casual, and because you can't see each other, you don't have to be polite. C,
Okay.
it was caused by a very, very popular radio advertisement in the 1940s. Or D, it's something that a fox is unable to say. So if the other person says it, you know you're not talking to a fox.
Oh, no. All of these sound plausible. So it's either you talk to the emperor, you can't see each other. So
It's polite
you
enough
have
to say to the
formal.
emperor.
Yep.
It doesn't matter, so you don't have to be polite.
Yeah. Yep.
It's from a very famous advertisement, or it's to protect against magical foxes.
Oh, no. I'm leaning towards B or C.
Okay.
C, I could see it being C, just
Yep.
because there's things like that happen in cultures.
Yep.
But I'm going to go with B. Because you can't see each other, you don't have to be as polite, but that still sounds wrong. But that's what I'm going to pick.
You know why it sounds wrong?
Because it is wrong?
It is wrong. Yes.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
Yes.
Like, just not being polite doesn't quite make sense.
When would a Japanese person ever not be polite?
I know.
No. The correct answer is D.
Oh, yeah.
It's something that they believe that a fox could not say. So if the other person says moshi moshi, you know you're not talking to a magical fox spirit.
I should have picked that.
That is
like, okay.
part of the reason why that people say moshi moshi. But
That is funny.
I don't know if nowadays people really think about it, but it's just become the thing they said, and that is part of what the original belief was.
That is funny.
All right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no points for that one.
No points for that one. All right, the next one should be pretty easy. Hachiko is a very famous dog.
Yes.
Why are they famous?
Okay, so this is, I believe, at the Scramble Crossing in Shibuya.
Mm-hmm.
The Hachiko was a dog who, there's a few others around the world where the dog waits for a specific person. In this case, with Hachiko, I believe it was a professor who would always take the train, and Hachiko would meet them, and eventually the person passes away, but the dog still waits behind, and then eventually the dog will pass away, and that's why there's a statue of Hachiko near the Scramble Crossing, is the rough idea. Was I not quite right?
I'm so sorry. You get another 3 points.
Aha! I got it.
I don't know specifically if it's the scramble. All I was looking for was he would wait for someone and then they passed away, but he kept waiting for them for years on end. Yes, that's all I was hoping for, and you did so much more than that. So yes, congratulations, you are correct.
Because I have actually seen it. So
Yes, that is Hachiko, the Shiba
Yes.
Inu who waited for his master. I believe it was for like 6 or 7 years.
It was a while.
It was a very long time. All right, well, now that you've had that easy one, here's a brutal one.
Okay.
In
What you got?
Japan,
Yep.
sometimes people will write the kanji for person onto their hand and then eat it. Why?
Oh, like
They'll trace the
with their
symbol
finger?
they'll trace the kanji for the word person on their hand and then pretend to eat it. Why?
Oh, I've heard of this. It's a superstition, I believe, but I don't.
You
remember
don't
exactly.
say.
I don't remember exactly the reason. It's kind of like people throw salt behind their back or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the reason why, though. So I'm gonna have to go with multiple choice.
Okay. Is it A, you do it to help calm your nerves? B, you do it to hold off hunger pangs. C, you do it to make yourself feel smarter. Or D, you do it because you're in love with someone who's not there.
So A was
to reduce or prevent anxiety, or
anxiety, hunger.
What
was the third one?
I forgot what the third one was, so it's not the third one.
Okay.
And the fourth one was you're in love with someone who's not there.
Yes. Okay, so we'll scratch the third one. So I have 3 choices.
Congratulations, you used your lifeline.
Yeah. So let's see if I can do this again. Another one will disappear. So it's anxiety, hunger, and
love.
Love. And you trace
the kanji for person.
Kanji for person, and you eat it.
You don't actually, you just draw it with your finger. Yeah.
Right.
You're not eating ink or licking.
You don't draw it on your hand and then eat your hand.
Yeah. And you don't like lick ink off of your hand or anything. It's just like you're pretending to draw it. Yeah.
I'm going to go with A, anxiety, to calm yourself down.
Get this man another point.
Aha!
What?
I don't know why it's that.
So I've seen it. I've only seen this one in a couple of things, and I actually had to ask my wife about this if this was a real thing. She's like, "Yeah, it's real." And it's more like the way I've seen it, where I've had it explained, is it's kind of like when you're going out to give a speech and someone says like, "Oh, imagine everyone in their underwear," or
okay.
When you're up on the stage, like you can't see anybody, so just imagine there's nobody there. It's that kind of, you're doing something and you feel stressed about it. You just do this and I'm just going to eat person. Blah. Okay, now I'm calm down. That kind of anxiety. Like performance and stage fright and things like that.
I wonder why the kanji of a person and you eat it.
I don't know. I don't know why. Some of these I know why. This one I do not know why. But okay. That is the thing that people do.
If you know, leave us a comment to tell us why.
Yes. If you don't know, but you have a very funny answer, leave that as well.
Yes.
All right. I got a couple more. Sometimes in Japan, while people are out walking around, they will say the phrase mulberry field multiple times. Why do they say this? There is a bonus hint that takes away just 1 point, where I'll say the word in Japanese.
From multiple choice.
So instead of multiple choice, I can give you a hint because I didn't tell you what it is in Japanese, and you might know it from the Japanese phrase. But it's actually, they say mulberry field.
Okay, so they say the Japanese
If I tell you the Japanese word, you might recognize it because it's very famous.
Oh, I see.
But if you actually know it, you would know that what they're saying is mulberry field.
I don't actually know it.
Do you want the hint?
Yeah.
They say kuwabara, kuwabara.
Oh.
Yeah, so you've heard people do that.
Yes.
Why do they do that?
I don't remember exactly. So do I not get multiple choice now?
You can get multiple choice if you'd like, and we'll go to 1 point.
I'll take multiple choice.
Okay. Is it A, to scare away demons and other spiritual monsters? Yeah. B, to avoid being struck by lightning? C, to call good spirits to you? Or D, to make you not feel alone because you hear yourself saying kuwabara, kuwabara?
I'm going to go with A, to get rid of evil spirits.
To keep evil spirits away.
Yeah.
Well, hot diggity dang, you get a big old 0.
Okay.
People say kuwabara, kuwabara to avoid being struck by lightning.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And if you're like, I know I've heard this somewhere, where have I heard it?
Yeah.
A couple famous things. Metal Gear Solid 3, Volgin says it. He's the bad guy who uses lightning powers. He walks around saying kuwabara, kuwabara a lot.
Of course he does.
The Dan opening, during the opening song, they say kuwabara, kuwabara, referencing that. I believe it's brought up one time in Inuyasha, and a couple of other random times people will say Kuwabara, and they're saying it because they want to avoid being struck by lightning.
They should say in Final Fantasy 10 when they're dodging all that lightning.
They might in the Japanese translation. I don't know if they do. Because there's not a real easy phrase to translate that to English.
Yeah.
But yes, saying the word mulberry field, because that's what it translates to.
What does it translate?
Yes. Yep.
Huh. I did not know that. Okay,
yes.
Cool.
All right. I have one or two more.
Okay. What you got?
This one you might know. When you go to a shrine in Japan for Shintoism, so not specifically not Buddhist, but a Shinto shrine, when you're going to pray at the shrine.
Yes.
Now, every shrine, there's lots of different traditions and lots of different ways this works. But one of the most common traditions, when you go to the shrine, you clap twice, then bow twice, then you will pray, and then you will clap and or bow or both at the end after you pray. Why do you clap twice at the start?
I've seen it. I know about it. I have no idea why.
Okay.
I don't know why you specifically clap. What is your multiple choicing this?
So first, is it to let people know you are at the shrine so they don't think you're so they know that you're there and recognize you at the shrine. 2, to get the god's attention. C, to not to let people to almost brag that you're at the shrine. Like, oh, look at me, I'm praying, I'm so pious. Or D, it is part of the purification ritual.
I was leaning more towards B until you said the last one.
I would say go with your gut. If your gut is correct. If your gut is incorrect, don't go with your gut. Sage test-taking advice.
Go with
Pick the right answer.
And say B.
You are correct.
The god's attention.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Purification is done before with the water. So by the time you get to the shrine, you should already be pure. There shouldn't be any reason to do that. So yes, you clap your hands twice to get the god's attention. Then bow twice
bow for respect.
For politeness. Then you would pray. And then on the tradition that I've followed the most and heard the most, although it's not the one everyone does, after praying, you bow again as thank you, and then a final clap to show that you are done.
Okay, that makes sense.
Certain shrines will have a bell, and you'll ring the bell instead of clapping. But yes.
Okay, so the bell replaces all the clapping?
The clapping, yes. You do something at the start to be like, hey, I'm here, please pay attention to me.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, this is your last one.
Okay, what do we got?
Okay. In Japan.
Yes.
What is the mythological belief that explains sun showers? If you're not sure what a sun shower is, sun showers are when it is raining while it is a mostly cloudless or sunny day. There might be a few clouds, but...
Yeah, but it's mostly sunny.
It's mostly sunny, and then it starts to rain. That's called a sun shower.
For no reason. Yeah.
What is the mythological cause in Japan?
I don't know. What are my choices?
So your choices are A, fox spirits are getting married. B, raccoon spirits are getting drunk.
Okay.
C, tengu bird spirits are feasting. Or D, the sun god is sad. Considering how much I hesitated, we can just take D right back off.
Yeah, D doesn't sound right.
Congratulations, you had an extra lifeline.
Oh, I'm leaning towards A or B. B sounds funnier. So that is the raccoon spirits getting drunk.
Tanuki are getting drunk.
Yeah, Tanuki. Yeah.
For a moment, I was going to say it was Tanuki spirits are pissing on everyone. I'm like, that he's not going to buy that because it's actually A.
Okay.
The mythological explanation for sun showers is that fox spirits are getting married.
Huh. Okay.
Yes. There's a couple of different reasons for it, possibly as celebration, possibly to keep people from going onto the mountains where this wedding may be held. where they'll be like, this is weird weather. I'm not going up that mountain. But yes, the sun showers are sometimes even called kitsune no kekkon, which is fox spirit or fox weddings.
Huh. No, I never heard of that.
Yep.
Cool.
I know way too much about Japanese fox spirits. And by way too much, I mean not nearly enough for my own.
Yeah, there's a lot.
That's like one of my things about Japan that I adore. There's so much. And it's real weird. But yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Very cool. Yeah, those are some good questions. I only got, I think, 2 of them absolutely right.
That is correct. You got 2 of them right perfectly. Sneezing for no reason and Hachiko. Mm-hmm. But you got 3 others correct. So that is a total out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of 24 points, which would be very hard because you would need to get all of them correct onwards. You got 9.
Nice.
Which is still better than having them all have been multiple choice.
Yes. Barely. But yes. Cool.
So there you go.
Nice. That was cool. That was fun.
Wait a minute. Why do I have more questions? Oh, right. Because I skipped that one. Never mind. Yes. So yeah.
Very fun.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed.
Cool. Do that again.
Okay. I'll start looking for more. I'll look up what this other one was. I promise only half of them will be about foxes next time.
Yeah, there's a lot of foxes, but that's fine. Foxes are cool.
Yeah. Foxes
and
are
there's
cool.
a lot of
foxes
stuff.
Are awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah, those are good.
I
had heard of some of them, but like I can't. This sounds familiar. I just can't place it. And apparently, I only could guess on a few of them.
The only 2 that I can think of that I don't know for sure that I've seen in manga or light novels or anime is Moshi Moshi and Sun Showers.
Yeah, those ones. I
know Moshi Moshi. I've seen them like an anime. Like if I'm listening to the like I'm listening to the Japanese version of it, you'll hear them say it, but nobody talks about it because it's so ingrained.
Yeah,
and
no one says why. It's just you hear it all the time.
It's just what you do. It's just how you answer the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And Sun Showers, that one also was just more of like, here's this myth. What do they think it means?
Yeah, I had never heard of that one.
Yeah. So there we go.
Very nice. Yeah, that was fun.
Cool. Tsundoku. This is a Japanese term that I have heard a few times, and I wanted to ask if you had ever heard of it. And the answer was no. So it's actually on Wikipedia.
I haven't looked it up.
It is the Japanese term for buying reading materials, but letting them pile up in your home without reading them.
Ah, okay.
Usually, especially nowadays, for like buying lots of books, putting them on your bookshelf, and then not reading them. This is a thing that I think when I went abroad as a student, I had first heard about this. So I've known about this as like it's a word that exists in Japanese, which is just, that's really cool. There's a book for people like me who buy lots of books that are really cool and just like have them. Like, I'm going to get to you eventually.
Later. Yeah.
Because as much as I don't have money to buy a lot of books, and as much as I reread books, and as much as I can read really fast, I still buy way more crap than I could read.
Yeah.
I can read an entire series in a weekend because I buy 2 series. This is definitely something I've been guilty of, and for other things too, with games and stuff like that, but on books, like being Tsundoku. And it's a thing people in Japan talk about. I think it's hilarious because it started in the Meiji era.
Wow. Okay.
In like the 1800s to early 1900s.
So it's been around for a while.
So it's been around for a while, which is hilarious and a good reminder of people don't change.
No.
Everything you feel now has pretty much all happened in the past in one form or another. But like I've seen it in like afterwards from comic artists and novelists, just like, "Yep, I've become a Tsundoku," and like people online just talking about it. Is this something you do?
So
I don't
yes
know.
and no. For manga, sort of. I usually, like, if I'm going to the store, like Barnes & Noble or something like that, I typically buy a couple at once, and then I put them on my desk in a pile.
Yeah.
And then I don't put them away until I've read them. I typically will read the ones that I haven't read before, like, if I have, like, ones that I haven't read online, I'll typically read ones that I haven't read, like, brand new ones to me first, and then I'll get to the ones that I've read online. It's like, well, I gotta read it again. So I typically go through the stack pretty quickly. It's like, because I bought them, so I want to read them.
Mm-hmm.
But that I don't do that for video games, art books, many other things, where I will buy them and then say, I'll get to it eventually, or I get it as a gift and I'll get to it eventually. Yep. And then it's years down the line, it's like, oh, wait, I own this. I should replay it. So for manga and like audiobooks, I don't buy a ton of novels, but typically I would usually read those because that's why I bought it. So audiobooks, manga, novels, I typically will read them as soon as I get them. But a lot of other things, I do not do that.
my favorite, because for me it's video games too, my favorite is on Steam. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go buy this game. I've heard so good about it. And I go to buy it, and it's like, this is already in your library. I'm like, what? It is? I bought it 6 years ago? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
The worst is when I go and get it. And then for completely unrelated reasons, 3 weeks later, I'm looking through like some other game site, like my Humble Bundle. It's like, oh, I already bought this 5 years ago. Oh, and I got it in another bundle 3 years ago. Oops.
Yeah.
So,
but I get the idea. I think if I bought, because there have been times when like there's a super sale or something like that that's like crazy cheap online, where I buy just a stack. Yeah. And it's just, it takes so long to get through it that you then start putting new ones on top, and it's like, okay, the pile is not shrinking anymore. It's staying relatively the same, and then you'll eventually go through it. But it's like, but it might take a couple weeks. It's like, because even if I buy like 3 or like 4 or 5, it's like, depending on what's going on, it's like, okay, I'll read one, and then stuff will happen, and I'll read another one. But it might be a week or two before I actually finish them all.
Yeah. That is, for books especially, is what happens a lot with me. Especially now that not just because now I have the digital e-reader that I can use, because I would, any sale or bundle or something, I would, or on my old Kindle, I'd be like, oh, this is a series that like I've been really interested in. Oh, hey, it's on sale. Or, oh, hey, I got a couple of dollars. Let me just get it. I can have it on my device and I can keep it with me. So I have a few dozen full series. Yeah. So like I know I've talked about it. It's like, oh yeah, I've read when will Ayuma make the first moves, that like 17 volume manga that I read in like 2 days. Yeah, I bought like 3 whole series that day. Yeah. And so yeah, I finished one of them, but I still have 2 others.
Yep.
And for me, and I think this is the thing with games and other stuff, because games, like, they're different types. Sometimes they're big, long adventures, and I was like, this is really cool. I want to get it because I'm going to get to it. But sometimes it's also like, this is fun. I may not want to play it tonight, but at one point I'll just want to sit down and play this because I like this style of game. And sales and things are a big part of it. That's for books recently. For me, that's been a big thing. But I think I mentioned it at some point in the show, but if I haven't, like last year, because I counted, because I wanted to figure it out, I read like comics and novels. Novels is probably only about a third of this, but I read like 250, 300 total books in a year.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you may or may not have heard about this earlier in the episode or another episode, but like I can read a manga volume in like 20 minutes. So
yeah,
if 2/3 of that was manga, that's not that long.
Fair.
That also means that I bought like at least half of that last year.
Yeah.
And when I get a series, I'll just buy the whole thing. And so that has led me to this. And the reason I bring this up is I am starting my Tsundoku summer, or my Escape from Tsundoku summer.
Escape from Tsundoku, okay.
Yes, where I'm going to go back, because I do have a lot of series that I really enjoy, and I have more of it, but like for whatever reason I stopped.
Okay.
Or there was a series where it was like, this was okay, I finished the first one, I'm going to get to it, and then get distracted by super sale, and like, oh look, the first 3 books are 99 cents, the rest are like 40% off. It's just good value.
Of course.
So it's going through those accounts, and over the last couple of years, because I've been using Humble Bundle, I bought the first Humble Bundle. I didn't buy every Humble Bundle back when they were like actual just singular one-off bundles. But I've been using Humble Bundle for a very long time, and they have like every like 3 or 4 months they will do a manga bundle, and I've gotten a lot of them. So like I have lots from there, and I have lots from Bookwalker, and a couple still from Amazon, some from Comixology and other places. And it's like, okay, I'm just gonna take a couple months, gather up all of like the big series and things that I've seen, and just be like, okay, let's finish these, because I want to read them, and I have them, and it's like, let's, and also money's nice, I'd like to have more of it. And one way to do that is to spend less of it. Apparently that works, I've been told.
Oh, fine.
I don't know if that's true. I don't think so, but everyone keeps telling me that, so I figured I'd try. So like this summer, like one of the things that I want to try and do, in addition to all the other things that I have to and or want to do, because I obviously can't be a sane person and just do one thing, but part of it for the show and for this things is just, my thought is, let me go through, collect all the piles of things that I have, and just start finishing series. Because like I did that for a couple others. Like I finished all of Shaman King. Glad I'm done. Make sure it was good, but it's like, oh boy, I'm glad that's over.
Yeah.
But I have all of All-Rounder Megadu, and I've read half of it. And it's like, let's just finish it. And a bunch of other series that I've picked up when they're on sale or things like that. And like that's like my plan now for this summer. It's just, I'm not thinking about how many I have because I'll cry.
Yeah.
So let me just finish off a whole bunch of it, and then I'll just cry silently when I talk about it at the end of the summer, because I'll be like, I've read so much. I already owned all of it, and I was going to buy more.
More books.
I'm saying this and I'm laughing about this because it is funny. I'm an idiot. I should not have bought this much, but I'm going to continue to do it. And I don't know if you have anything you want to ask me about this or talk about it. The point that I was gonna make, and then you can tell me how you feel about this after, but
Okay.
if I'm just coping or if there's actually something of value here. It's very funny that I've bought like 800 books in the last year and a half. Yeah, I read 300 last year, but I've bought like 800 since last year.
As I stare at my wall of manga.
Yeah, but like some of that you had before.
That is true. I didn't buy it all.
I'm talking about like in the last 2 years, I've bought like 800 manga, novels, light novels, etc.
That's a lot.
At least that's what my cursory count came to. And I'm not
but it's not like you bought them
checking
at full price. So
yeah, a lot of them were on sale. A lot of them were things. Some of them were like discount. Some of them were like Bookwalker, which is one that you and I have started using a lot recently. Which is very Japanese style one of you buy stuff, you get bonus points that you can basically spend instead of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am constantly in one of their high rank extra bonus points back because I spend too much there. And it's very funny and it's very stupid, and I should be better at finance and all of that. But at the same time, and this is something that's kind of the of the show and what we do, of just, we love this. Like, we really enjoy this stuff. And like, this is what I've been really enjoying and what I really like. And maybe at some point I'll stop wanting to read so much. Hopefully I'll stop buying when that happens. But
yes,
like that would be helpful. Yes. But this is a thing that I really enjoy, and I do want to read these. And most of the ones that I bought, I got them because I wanted to read them. And I think the worst thing you can do is look at this and be like, I'm a terrible person. This is bad. I should stop doing this. You should go, okay, I have this. Let me take a step back and start going through this. Because you have it. Mm-hmm. And especially when you do have a lot, when it's like, oh yeah, I have 3 or 4 books that I bought that I haven't read yet. Like, you might not be interested. But when you have like a lot of things piled up where it's like, I got this and then I got that, and especially over the course of years, which is what most of us have been doing, you probably have whatever mood you're in, whatever you feel like doing, there's probably something in your pile that you'd be like, you know what I really want to read? I want to read Victorian fantasy anti-hero romance. And it's like, oh, really? With nobles or with commoners? Yeah. You've got 2 choices still. It's like, well, shit. All right. Like, you probably have something that will make you, whatever you feel in the moment, you're like, I want to read this. And so I think the thing is, yes, it's bad. Yes, you shouldn't do it. Yes, you should be careful. Yes, you should take care of money. You should be responsible, blah, blah, blah. But you're going to fuck it up and fail anyway. Okay, that's happened. Take a moment, step back, and instead of looking at it and being ashamed of it, be like, okay, cool. Like, what's in here that I haven't read? What do I have? Because, like, that's what I have been doing over the last couple of weeks. Is like, I don't know what I want to read. Let me just scroll through everything that I haven't read. And I'm like, oh, shit, that's right. I still have 7 more of those. Oh, crap. That's right. That was so good. Why didn't I finish that? Oh, because I got distracted by, oh, hey. I remember. I picked up the first one of that. I want to see how it is. Like, if you don't just hate yourself for it, you'll probably look through it and be excited for some of these things. Take the time to be excited and do that. Okay, go ahead and tell me how much of an idiot I am.
No. Because it's one of those things. Because there's 2 things. Like, you can collect manga, yes, things like that, and you can read manga. Typically, you want them to be one and the same, but there are just, it's nice just to have them, too.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing, too.
Yeah. To your point, it's like, I definitely don't have a ton of them on the Tsundoku summer, but Dead Rock is still laughing at me sitting on my desk saying, you haven't read me yet, and I am going to. So
yeah,
I don't have a lot to read per se, but I have plenty of other things that I own that I'm like, I'll get to that eventually. And then
I have birthday presents from someone.
Oh, yeah, me.
So it's manga. Yeah, you. Most of them are saying, I have almost finished one of them.
Which one?
Haunted Bookstore. I think I'll probably finish that for next week.
I wasn't sure how good that was.
Don't get your hopes up.
Okay, that's what I was. That's what I figured.
It's not bad.
Okay.
And I'm glad I'm reading it, but I don't know how much I would recommend it.
Okay. Well, if you're going to finish it, then we can talk about it then.
Yeah, well, I'm going to finish it. Yeah, okay. It's not bad. It's not like, I'm going to put this down and stop reading it. But it's like, yeah, the same thing. I've got like a handful of books on my desk, and I've got stuff on my shelf, and I got stuff that I got a while ago because it was like, hey, $10 for 10 volumes of something, or $25, 15% goes to charity, and you get the entire series.
Yep.
And I think the Tsundoku Summer is because, like, I know I'm still going to get stuff over the summer. I may have just bought something before the show started when I was going to put myself to this.
At least you didn't buy it during the show.
But, like, there's still some things that I'm going to get where it's like the series that I've been reading that I love, that I've set up to, like, let me know when there's a pre-order. I'm still going to get those. But it's like everything else I'm just going to, like, okay, it'll be there when I get back. And I think that's another thing about this, of just, like, the best way to fix problems like this or to deal with things like this is just set a timer and just start. Just like you said, you have a really good way for your books. It's just like, it's sitting on my desk. It's always there to remind me. That's a really good way to do it. For me, it's like, I think if I set myself of like, okay, let's just finish out as much as I can in the summer, like that just feels like a good, easy way to do it. Of like, okay, I'm going to intentionally avoid looking for new things and go through series that I've really loved and be like, okay, what do I have left to read? And just like knock it out, move on.
Mm-hmm.
And if I really like it, I'm going to remember it. I'll come back to it. I'll enjoy it. I'll slow down. But if it's just like, it's good, I can burn through it pretty quickly.
Cool.
But that's what I've set myself up for. If anyone out there is dealing with this and wants to join along, all 2 of you, 3 of you, 4 of you.
Hopefully it's more than that, but yeah.
As of recording, according to the statistics, it could be that many. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
It's definitely, no. But it's also very funny.
Yeah. But no, I hadn't heard of that before, so that's good to know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It is a real term. It's fun.
Cool.
And it's, again, Mage era.
That's crazy.
My favorite thing that still exists that is real is the translation where it's like, oh no, all men want to write books. All the women have stopped paying attention to their husbands. Children have stopped listening to their parents. Everyone wants to be an actor. Everything is ruined. The world is coming to an end. And then the footnote is translation of ancient Babylonian tablet 3000 BC.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, nothing's changed. Humans are still humans. Like, so much has changed, but so much hasn't changed. Like, we've always been like this. Don't just ignore it. Like, and again, like, we're talking about this because we love it.
Yes.
Enjoy it. But maybe we should catch up.
Yeah.
Maybe mustard.
Finish the backlog.
Mustard! I got Kendrick Lamar in there. Haha. Yeah. You don't have to finish the backlog. Just shrink it.
Make it a little smaller. Yeah. Thank you all for listening. You can find us on Blue Sky at Mudai Manga Book Club and YouTube at Mudai Manga and Book Club. Please share the episode if you love it or even just like it. You can leave a comment on YouTube. We love comments. We need more comments. Please leave a like, subscribe. We have more subscribers now.
We did it.
But more.
We have more.
We have more.
Number go up.
If you have any questions, comments, you want to rant about something, feel free to email us at mudaimangabookclub@gmail.com. You can listen to our podcast on many things now.
Yes. Podbean is where we put them, but it shows up all over the place. Apple, iTunes, a lot of the other podcasting apps, Spotify should be there.
Yeah, it's pretty much everywhere now. We are in everything. But yeah, let us know if you love it. Let us know if you don't like it. And if there's anything you want us to change. Or if you like what we're talking about and have any recommendations, we would love to hear that too.
Yeah.
So speaking of recommendations,
what?
Tom.
Yes.
Did you like my recommendation segue? So what would you recommend?
I would recommend your recommendation segue. You should do this more often.
Yeah.
For the rest of it.
Too much pressure.
I finally made you do it. Yeah, no, so mine, there's been a bunch of gaming news and other things going on the last couple of weeks, and then I just happened to run across something where Bloodstained: The Scarlet Engagement is coming next year, which I'm not going to recommend, but I am going to recommend the game that came before it, which is Bloodstained: Ritual of the Night. If you have ever played a Metroidvania and you want the Castlevania side of the Metroidvania, Bloodstained: Ritual of the Night is the full title. It is a game, came out like 3 or 4 years ago at least.
Yeah,
2019.
I think so. Yeah, 6 years ago.
But it was an independent game developed by one of the original directors of the Castlevania series.
Right.
Went independent. There was a big Kickstarter for it. Game came out. It's a very good game. If you've played the like Symphony of the Night or the GBA era and DS era Castlevania games, it plays very similar to that. Play as someone with the power to absorb evil souls and then use those powers to help you fight other demons. It is not the most original story, but it's well told. The art is great. The battle system is great. The exploration is really great. The levels are well designed. The art is fantastic. Music is great, of course. It's just an all-around really fun game. There's some really And there are some really fun characters in it, even if it's not
Nice.
groundbreaking. Oh, Koji Igarashi. I'm going to edit that back in earlier. Koji Igarashi. This is me saying it right the first time. But yeah, he was one of the original developers of the Castlevania series. It's just all around good. There's a bunch of other smaller games too, but Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is really the big one, and it's just fantastic.
Yeah,
and I can say that because I beat it.
Oh, nice. I have it, but I haven't really gotten that far into it. I should get back into it.
Yeah. It's quite good. It's definitely the Symphony of the Night GBA DS era Castlevanias. It's very Metroidvania. A lot of exploring, a lot of power-ups, but not, while the battle system's interesting, it's not like lots of combos and things like some of the 64 era ones. And it's not a straight platformer like the really early ones, but it's very good.
So, yeah, because I don't think there's been a Castlevania game in quite a while.
A real Castlevania? I think there's been one or two since then, but yeah, there have not been very many.
Okay. Yeah, this kind of, I think, took the place for Castlevania for a lot of people.
Igarashi, he was one of the people who was always really pushing to do more Castlevanias, and so when he left, a lot of that went away. I think there's been one or two, and there's been Castlevania official crossovers with a bunch of other games.
Yes.
And I think there are still some Castlevanias, but it's usually like, it's only on the Switch, or it's only on the PlayStation, whereas Bloodstained is on everything. Yeah. PC, Switch, PS, PlayStation, Xbox, your refrigerator probably. And it's a game from 2019, so the art, they do like some 3D art, and it is really good, even if it has that sort of traditional style. The cutscenes aren't just like little pixel art characters. It's actually quite good art. So
nice.
Very fun.
Yeah, because they just announced the sequel.
Yep, they just announced the pre-sequel.
Is it a prequel?
It is in the same world, but it's set in the 1600s. Bloodstained, I believe, is set in like the mid-1900s to early, like...
Of that world.
It's not modern, but it's within the last 100 years. Guns exist and things like that, but it's a little bit past Victorian era, I think. It's not exactly clear.
Okay.
But it's not
modern era.
It's not like, oh, this is happening yesterday. No, this is like, probably the latest would be like 1940s, 1950s. Maybe like late 1800s, early 1900s is probably what I would guess. Okay. And if it's later than that, the people involved are not using technology from later than that.
Okay.
What about you? What do you have to recommend?
So I would recommend a show on Disney Plus. I think that's the only place you can watch it. It's called Amphibia. Okay. I don't think I've talked about this before.
Nope.
So Amphibia is a TV show about a girl who's transported to a world of frogs.
Okay.
Thus the Amphibia. So it's a world of frogs. It's a world of amphibious creatures, to put it bluntly. Yeah, there's lots of amphibious creatures. There's newts, toads, and frogs are the big ones. So this girl gets transported. Her name is Anne. She gets transported to this world, and it's kind of fish out of water kind of story. And it's her surviving in this strange world where she lives with a bunch of farming frogs. Like, because they're I think it's anthropomorphic.
Yes, where they're like human-looking creatures.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're anthropomorphic frogs. She lives with them. She's like, I don't know how I got here, so they take her in. And it's just kind of like a funny kind of shenanigans that go on for a while. And the episodes are like 2-parters every time, so like 2 half episodes. But it's very much more on the funny, look at how she wrecks this world. But then the story gets more serious because she actually was transported with 2 of her friends. And they end up in other places because they're, I think by chance, but... they're very different personalities as well. So I won't spoil it, but you meet the other 2 friends, and they had completely different experiences from what Anne had. Mm-hmm. And as the story goes on, you learn that there's much more of a sinister underlying thing going on. And then, so there's 3 seasons. I think they're about like 20 episodes each.
Okay.
The first one is very happy-go-lucky. We're trying to figure out what's going on, and it ends on a... hey, there's not always happy-go-lucky things going on, so some serious stuff happens. Second season is a mix. It starts off more happy-go-lucky and then gets dark. And then the third season it's dark. Now, what I mean by dark is dark as in Disney. Hey, there's villains and things going on. It's not like
still Disney.
People are getting murdered all the time or things like. It's still Disney.
Yeah.
It's the more mature Disney, but it's still Disney.
Things are not all nice.
Things are not all nice. And then the third season, some other stuff happens, and it ends the story in a good way. So it's not like it ends on, see you next season, and then we got canceled. No, it ends on we completed the story that we wanted to tell. I think you can only see it on Disney+. It came out a number of years ago. I think you can only stream it. But the funny thing is, I first saw this when YouTube was doing the really long ads. So because the episodes are 12 minutes long, I first saw this show as like a 12-minute ad on YouTube. I'm like, what the heck is this? And then I just watched it. It's like, that's really cool. I've never even heard of this show.
Okay, that's
cool. Then that's like, okay, that's how I found out about it. Because I think it kind of started off like that because the episodes are really short, where it's like, we're just going to throw the episodes up, and then they kind of all got combined. Yeah. It's really good. It's funny. There's some really goofy stories. There's some Halloween episodes that are really good. I really like the first 2 seasons. The third one gets a little weird at the beginning, but then it has a really good ending.
Okay.
But yeah,
cool.
Definitely check it out. It's probably not for little kids, like little kids.
Right. Okay.
Because it's funny, but then it also has some like darker things that could be scary, especially the Halloween episodes are very creepy, and actually got an art book that kind of, it shows like behind the scenes artwork and things like that, but then it also goes through every episode giving you like, hey, this is what we were thinking about doing for this one, and kind of like some background art and things like that. Like, these are some different designs. And I got to the Halloween episode, it's like, yeah, we were really surprised Disney let us do this episode. This was freaky, and we're just gonna try it and see if they agree to it. It's like, we cannot believe that they agreed to this. And yeah, it's all right. It's a dark episode.
Okay,
but yeah, no, it's really good. So that's Amphibia.
Cool. I'll check it out.
So then, preview. Next week, we are going to talk about
All Roundu Megaru, Volumes 1 and 2, because it would be dumb to be like Volumes 1 and 2 except for the last chapter.
This is a manga, right?
I believe. This is the manga. This is by Hiroki Endo about MMA fighting. So we'll be talking about the first 2 books. The series is entirely available in English, so you can definitely get it if you want to get further ahead. We may have talked about Hiroki Endo earlier in this episode. We may not have. Who's to say? I know who.
Mystery.
You! Person who listened to this episode. We're not recording this in advance. But yes, that's what we'll be talking about next week.
Sounds good. All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Have a good night.
Peace.
Bye. I will read it before the next episode.
Will you really? I'm just gonna cut that off. Like, I still haven't read.
Yeah, I still haven't read it.
Her rocks. Yeah, I still haven't read it. Just like at the end of every episode. Anyway, thanks for coming to the show. I still haven't read it.
Yeah, I still haven't read it.
Hello and welcome to I Still Haven't Read It. Today we have 2 main topics. First, we're going to talk about interesting things we've seen, read, and I still haven't read it, or listened to. And our main topic will be I still haven't read it.
That's all.
10 minutes of me just saying
you haven't read it.
I still haven't read it. That doesn't sound right. Let me not do that. So instead, we're there. Whenever you're ready.
So now I'm doing it.
Yeah, good luck.
Okay.
I didn't give you any time to prepare for this.
Nope. Now I'm trying to remember what you typically say.
A lot. Too much.
Yeah,
usually.
I know. Like, this is a lot more... Yeah.